Hello everybody, how's it going, and welcome back to another video about Assassin's Creed Unity. And I've got a ton of information in this video to cover, so we're going to try and get through this as fast as possible so you guys know what's going down. So let's get this thing started. So the first thing we've got on our big list of information is Arno is on a quest for redemption, and he joins the Assassins as a means of obtaining it. But he's not the only one with something at stake. After Arno's father, who's an assassin, is murdered, Elise's father, who's a Templar, takes Arno in. So Elise's father is Arno's adoptive father, which some of you guys actually came up with. He feels indebted to Arno's father, not because he had anything to do with it, just because he had respect for his enemy. So he takes Arno under his wing. Amancio explained, but he doesn't want to corrupt the memory of Arno's father by making him become part of the Templars. So he hides the whole Templar thing. Arno has no idea. Arno and Elise, whose complete name is Elise de la Serre, will grow up together and fall in love without Arno ever knowing she's part of the Templars. That is pretty damn strange, actually. What the heck? But he must find out later on, possibly. So that's why he must save her at the things. He's like, oh shit, yeah, she's a Templar, but it's Elise, so he can't kill her. So he's like, yeah, we're best buddies. So that's kind of cool, like how the Templar has so much respect for his enemy. Like if he did, he wouldn't have used to been like that. Like if Robert de Sable, he never would have done anything like that. Or Rodrigo Borges. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's kind of how it all intertwines and stuff. So that's really cool to know. The second thing is Arno has sharp wit and is a no-nonsense type, while Elise is more of a free spirit. She's that girl when you're growing up who always gets you into trouble, Amancio says. The two stop seeing each other for a period of time, but are brought back together when Elise's father is murdered. Arno feels responsible for that death, so he tries to figure out why he died and who killed him. Elise has the exact same objective, but she has no redemption desire because she doesn't feel guilty at all. It's nothing to do with her, so all she wants to do is the same thing. But her motivation is revenge. They killed my father, they're corrupting my order. I need to find out who's behind it and why. So that's kind of cool how they're kind of helping each other, but Arno is kind of for Elise it's kind of like, you know, this is revenge, but for Arno it's kind of like more personal. He feels like he has to do it. So that's kind of like, that is kind of like the assassin outlook, and Elise kind of does have that Templar outlook. So it kind of like what their actions are kind of reflecting their sort of moral standing in the I don't know what it's called, you know, the thing. The thing. Okay, so we'll move on. One of the big dilemmas for Arno is having to choose between duty and love. He must follow the assassins, but he also loves a girl whose methods for getting the answers are very different. So that's probably like Connor and Haytham. So like how Connor was trying to help Haytham and Connor were helping each other, and then Haytham just goes and kills random people. He's like, what are you doing? But yeah, it's probably quite similar there. So yeah, that is so yeah, he's forced to choose between those two things. So we've got to see what he's going to choose. So another thing which is extremely shocking, which I did not know, and this has been confirmed. A lot of you guys said it. A lot of us thought it might be an upgrade thing. Arno only has a single hidden blade. So maybe this is them trying to go back to the roots of AC1. Like, you know what? Ditch the double blades. He can have one. You know what, I kind of like it. Like, it would have been cool if there was an upgrade, but you know what, in Brotherhood, you know how Ezio started off with a single blade, and then you could go to Leonardo da Vinci, get an upgrade. I always never did the upgrade, just because I like having the one blade. It makes me feel more badass, like, yeah, I've got this one blade, but if you have two, it's like, yeah, I'm just really OP, I've got these two blades. Like, I kind of like having the one blade, so that is quite a cool thing to have in the game. Like, I kind of would have liked if they'd added, the customization to have that upgrade, because some people do want the double blades, and it kind of would have been good to have that another thing of sort of, you know, there's an upgrade you can have. Although, if it is reliving an ancestor's memories, like in history he only had one blade, so it wouldn't make sense to have two, if that makes sense. But it is a game, you know, just go with it. But yeah, I'm not too bothered with that, but it's kind of cool. I kind of like that. Not everything that can be done in Paris is shown on the map once a waypoint is synced. It says waypoint, but I think it means viewpoint. That's kind of, I don't know, because like when you're a completionist and you want to complete everything, you want it to be there. So it's like, yeah, I'll go do this. But if you have to go around finding things, it's like, why am I wasting my time with this? But you know, I don't know. I think that's kind of cool. How things can still surprise you. You're not always sort of like, you know, you don't always know what's going to happen. I think that's kind of cool, because things can just randomly happen, and then it's like, yeah, this is cool. So yeah, that is kind of cool. That is kind of cool. A great part of Unity is about exploration and finding stories. Ubisoft will have many quests that revolve around history and some of its prominent figures. It will be possible to unlock these stories by reading newspapers and finding letters in houses. Once these tidbits are discovered, a question mark will appear on the map. If the player reaches it, he/she will unlock a bit of the history and culture of the land. Ubisoft used an example of the Marianne, the national emblem of the French Republic. That is pretty cool. So like you can go around. So newspapers. Didn't I say in a video? Wait, unless you find newspapers in houses, but I still said about them in a video, like a little while ago. It must have been like the economy one that got like a really good response. Actually, that's like on the front page when you type in Assassin's Creed Unity, I think. But yeah, that one where I was talking about the weapons, the economy, things like that. I'm pretty sure it was that one where I said they need to include a newspaper like on Red Dead Redemption, and that'd be really, really cool. And you can find out what's going on in the world and stuff, and like get secret missions and stuff. I said about that, like do newspapers. That is really cool. That is yeah. Arno will also stumble upon many murders and will meet Eugene Francois Vidocq, I think that's how you pronounce it, the father of modern criminology, who will appear as a kid in the game. When the player first meets him, he's in a jail, telling him or her to stick with him and not to buy into the corruption. That's really cool. That's a lovely little side quest you got there. The murder mystery things do sound really, really cool. Like going investigating stuff like that, using your detective assassin skills. You're like Batman going in there. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Like that, I think they're going to be a lot of fun to do. And the side quests do seem to be a lot more in depth, a lot more fun, a lot more realistic. It like rather than go here, kill this guy, there you go, get a bit of money. Like they're actually going to be quite fun to play. So I can't wait for that. That's going to be really, really cool. So the next point is about customization. It goes a little bit in depth. So let's go and dive into this. So the player will be able to customize forearms, legs, boots, chest, hood, and mask. Also, different gear is suited to particular playstyles. For instance, one hood might make the player blend faster in crowds, and a belt might impact on the amount of items that can be carried. Ubisoft estimates it has over 200 pieces to collect. Arno will have guns at his disposal. They will also alert guards easily, and will have limited amounts of ammunition. Ubisoft also included long weapons such as spears, pikes, and staves, so that the player can attack at a distance with more power. That is super cool. 200 pieces of gear, obviously including everything in a big thing. 100 of those are weapons, so the other 100 must be different bits of gear. That is so cool. Like hoods make you blend in crowds better, things like that. Like the boots probably help you to climb. Like you've got like the forearm things that probably help you in combat, like better grip and stuff like that. It's gonna be insanely cool. I can't wait for this customization. Oh my god, it's gonna be amazing. Because it is now possible to climb in interiors, the player will be able to exploit windows for assassinations. That is really cool. So there'll be a guy in a window, you'll be able to dive through the window and be like, hell yeah, and then kill him. And yeah, that's going to be really, really cool. So window assassinations confirmed. If someone in the cooperative group dies, they can be revived, but Game Informer advises to make sure to clear the area first, because there will be only a short period of time to revive teammates. If they perish, their wallets will take a hit before they respawn, so that's obviously going to mean you're going to lose a bit of money there if you die in the co-op missions. But you know, when we play together, we're all really good, so we're not going to die at all, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, so the next thing is that the AI is smart and often teams up against the player. The enemies have a lot more offensive options and will not be afraid to exploit the bombs at their disposal. There will also be boss battles, which will amp up the tension. Boss fights are challenging, not because we added QuickTime event, but because we're using the full extent of the fight system. So game designer Alex I hate pronouncing their names. The enemy can pull off the same moves that Arno can, and it creates a challenge in a good way. Not so people can throw their controllers on the ground in frustration, but because it's something we've never had. For the first time, we have boss fights that are about parrying at the right time, making sure you dodge, and not spamming the attack button. I think that's kind of cool. Like it reminds me of the really tough guards from Assassin's Creed 1. You know, like the main enemies were always really, really good and like kind of like the same skill as Altair. I feel like it's going to be like that. So when you hear the word boss fight, don't be put off like, oh, this is going to be ridiculous. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be like just like a matched fight between Arno and an opponent who's just as powerful as he is, which is really cool because that gives you some kind of match against like the enemy. And considering how hard the guards are going to be, it's going to be very difficult to try and kill these guys. So that's really interesting. The different factions roaming the streets will interact with the player and with each other. Thugs will attack the player no matter what. The police won't attack unless provoked. The crowds and commoners might lend Arno a hand when you're in a jam. At the same time, the police will target dissidents so that the player could lure lure thugs toward the authorities and watch them engage instead of getting his or her hands dirty. That's really cool. So that's kind of like the factions, like the thieves and things like that. I take it the thieves have been replaced by thugs, and then the police are like the guards, and then you've got like just like the normal people, which is probably just like the, I'm guessing, like the random people you see in the streets, like they're just, you know, random people. So that's really cool to see the factions returning in this game. So Ubisoft is keeping the modern day quite a secret, but Amoncio did tease that it will coincide with the new generation of consoles. Our player's already read about this stuff, read about this stuff, and live Assassin's Creed as if it was part of reality. So we wanted to give them a chance to do more, to cosplay better, so we decided to make the players the main protagonists of the story. We're removing the Abstergo layer, the Abstergo employee character. You are now the protagonist, ultimately. The player will still have reason to go and discover Arno's memories, but it's ultimately them helping the assassins. The present day is what gets everything together and spreads the together, and spreads the limitless possibilities. Sorry. Amoncio said, I think we need to find its voice, and seriously, I think we did. I strongly believe this is where it has to go, and it has to go even further with other games. Amoncio did not spoil too much, but he claimed that the first 20 minutes of Unity will give the player an entire gist of where they're going. The first 20 minutes are cool, and they're very, very surprising, he said. That is pretty cool. They're very, very surprising. So we're going to be seeing some cool stuff. Hopefully you did enjoy this video, guys. I know I enjoyed making it. This is some pretty cool information. As soon as we get some more information, obviously I'm going to make another video. Smack that like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new for brand new Assassin's Creed Unity and Assassin's Creed Rogue information. And all the Let's Plays coming to the channel very, very soon on Assassin's Creed and various other games. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
Wolves kept tumbling down, raining fire from above. Great crowds charge over the hills, but the city's had enough. But if we turn and fight, does it almost feel like we